I was working in a restaurant. I had a stroke. It comes from I had a hole in my heart. So the blood clot went through my heart, went to my brain. So that's what caused the stroke. So I'll try to figure out how to go to work. And that's when they told me about Jeff. And Jeff came into the picture.
I first heard about Yvette from a vocational rehabilitation counselor who reached out to me and said that she had a client who needed to do what we call a return to work.
I mean, he got me my job back. He came, when I started back to work, he stood there. He stood there while I worked there and see how I do my right hand. I was kind of slow. I did the job, but I was still kind of slow. But Jeff did a good job helping me out.
There are lots of pieces to put together. Yvette was in the rehab center at that point doing daily rehab. So I would meet with the folks that she was working with there. I talked to her doctors. And then, of course, I was talking to her employer at the same time also. They were definitely wanted Yvette to come back. And what was that going to look like?
It wasn't for Jeff talking for me. When he talked for me, I don't think I would have my job back. So he did a good job.
Since the wars 20 years ago, we saw lots of brain injuries coming out of combat situations. And then, of course, we've seen much more in recent years where football players, for instance, are ending up with really serious brain injury.
And that's why I always thought Goodwill was just a store. I never thought they had so many organizations to help you out.
Yvette got back to work. Her coworkers were thrilled to have her back. It was just wonderful to see that, the way that her coworkers really rallied around her coming back.
Without Goodwill, I'd probably be still at home, looking at the four walls.
It was so rewarding and meaningful to see somebody finding their way again in her case.
Goodwill helped me out a lot. If people don't know that, they helped me out a lot.
Everybody, when I tell them I work for MERS Goodwill, they're like, oh yeah, I shop at the Goodwill store, and that's great. There's not a lot of recognition, I think, of this side of things, that what those stores are funding are these services to where we can, again, as the mission says, that we can change lives through the power of work. I think that's critical to the community, and I know people like Yvette and other clients that we've worked with repeatedly tell us this is life-changing. Goodwill is an important part of this community.